Contestant number 5, Toastmaster Sandun Fernando. The ice cream talk. The ice cream talk, Toastmaster Sandun Fernando.
That soft, white, creamy texture, the yellow, greasy topping. Have you ever tasted kaptapu? Contest master? You call it cropu, bird droppings, whatever. I can't take credit for that joke. It was written by my friend Basil. Basil lived for the gram. That means he was very active on social media. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, WhatsApp, you name it. He was more active than 1 minute motivation. Basil used to live in the States. And his family has a lot of money, I don't know how. Because I remember at one point he used to work at a petrol shed as well. However, Basil used to post all these wonderful stories on Instagram to Facebook about his lavish travels, the fine dining restaurants, his workouts to his expensive clothes, everything. It was like watching a movie when you go through his social media feed. The ideal bachelor life. That is when Basil found the love of his life, Hiru. It was like a match made in Tinder. They kicked off because Hiru was also very active on social media. She would also post all her stories. They were the couple everybody was looking for. And before you realize it, their combined count on social media was 6.9 lakhs followers. More than 6,900 followers on YouTube, 6.9 million almost views on TikTok. It was a feast of 69 with them. And these guys were getting endorsements from everything. Whenever there is an opening of a fancy hotel or restaurant, they would get invited. A clothing show, a fashion show, they would be there. They would do endorsements from everything from Munchie chocolate biscuit to paired couple underwear to even Durex double XL. However, Basil couldn't resist the temptation when he was getting that many requests. Although Hirunika was his one true love, he's also had a few on the side which we didn't know. He was very active on social media, so his computer was locked on, his phone was locked on, his tab was locked on. He was always available because he needed to be active and online. Until one night, he was one shot of tequila too much. Fell asleep with his computer unlocked. Hiru has gone online, logged into his social media, and seen some of those conversations with everyone who's not Hiru. Now those conversations are so explicit that you would laugh harder than you laughed at Ranjan's recorded tapes. The next morning when Basil woke up, his entire social life was on social media, but not the kind you want. Those conversations were tagged from all these endorsement parties to each and every one. And the first person to comment on that was his mother. One sentence: the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Basil, the social media superstar, came down crashing in one night. He was almost like Basil the Beast. He was about to close everything and go back to the United States when he called me and said, "Bro, I need that ice cream talk." What is this ice cream talk? You need to go back to my childhood. Ladies and gentlemen, I was that kid you probably hated if I was on social media. The extreme opposite of Ara. I don't know why or how, don't ask me to explain, but I was that kid that aced all the exams. I was that kid that did everything well, from sports to elocution recitals to everything. Honestly, I don't know how or why, but I was that kid. And my father was my personal and the social media. He would come everywhere, take pictures of me, talk about me to my fellow cousins and everyone. He would promote me everywhere. My support system, my fan base. Until one day, when I was 11 years old and I had to face competition from the real world. The first time I was asked to run 100 meters at a district level outside of the school, where I was meeting competitors. My father bought me the best pair of spikes. I was the only kid wearing spikes at the Sugadada Stadium because back in the 90s, there weren't many kids with spikes. The boy next to me plastered his feet to avoid friction burns on the car. On your mark, get set, bang! We finished the race and the crowd was up on their feet, cheering. For the first time, not for me, for the boy next to me. And I felt the whole world crumbling on me. I looked up to the stands, searching for my fan, for my support, and I could see an even placid, plain face that didn't say much. When I looked for him, I looked up to him. Wasn't there. I dashed out of that track onto the grass, and as I lay down there, for the very first time in my life facing failure, I also tasted cow. And as I was lying there, and I got up to wipe the taste out, my mother was standing there with a bottle of water. Just gave it to me, helped me wash the taste out of my mouth, and said, let's go get an ice cream. For the next few hours, she sat there next to me without uttering a single word and letting me finish one cup after the other of ice cream. And right at the end, all she said was, it's okay. We'll start again and it'll be all right. When I told this story to Basil, long years after that, the guy wrote a post on it. That's where I picked up my first joke. He knew this, he came up to me. He knew I never liked his social media posts or anything. But when he wanted, he knew I would just sit and listen. Ladies and gentlemen, you have probably been myself at Sugadadasa or Basil on social media. Whenever you're feeling down and out, remember there are people out there waiting for you. And better yet, when you know there are people out there who's facing that, step up and be there for them.